Men in blue rarely draw their guns on criminals, but not every criminal is looking to avoid a shootout. From a suspect shooting a police officer point blank in the head to another suspect getting up after being shot twice. Here are 5 instances where high-speed pursuits between officers and criminals escalated into gunfire. On February 18, 2018, officers from the Texas Police Department were conducting a routine traffic stop on a 33-year-old, Ernest Manuel Montalongo, for traffic infractions. However, the situation took a turn for the worse when Manuel provided troopers with a fake name and fled the scene. To assist with a pursuit, a DPS helicopter was deployed, which captured very dramatic footage.
He's on the access road right now, traveling westbound. Okay, he's on the wrong side of the road, trying to split the middle access road. He's got front end damage. Just blew through the intersection at Zool Road, getting back up on 10.
Despite having a broken bumper, Manuel went the wrong way on the highway in an attempt to evade capture. However, the bumper wasn't the only thing broken, as he soon ended up with a flat tire.
He's back number 2 lane, just really slow. Okay, he's got smoke coming out of the front left tire now. He's probably going to have to shut it down pretty quick. He's smoking on the road. Just lost a tire. Now he's running on the rim. He is IH-10 and FM-1518 taking the exit. IH-10, 1518.
It's surprising to watch that Manuel kept trying to flee even with a flat tire, but it wasn't long before he was finally caught.
Hey, the Guadalupe troop, this 107, how far behind are you guys?
6631 to 107. We're underneath 1518 right now. I'm on 10. Got another unit on the access road.
Okay, 10-4. He's still slow rolling it, coming up to Frutenberg Road, still on the access. Heads up, guys. He looks like he's getting out. He's under the floorboard, guys. Under the floorboard. Be careful. Be careful. Under the floorboard, guys. Watch it. Taking up a defensive position, guys.
The pursuit finally came to stop with the assistance of the DPS helicopter, but the end was both surprising and heart-wrenching.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Troop down. Troop down. Let's get EMS en route. Troops down. Got a handgun. Troops down. It's gonna be a small caliber weapon. Small caliber weapon, either 9mm, something like that, to EMS, and he shot in the right arm.
Manuel pulled out his handgun and shot one of the troopers in the arm, and in response, other troopers retaliated, taking him down, which resulted in a bloodbath.
107, you got an ETA on EMS?
107, standby, we'll get an ETA.
7 to the troops. I think we're going to try to land and medevac him ourselves. Copy that?
107, will you be taking them to SAMC so that we can notify them?
University.
Confirming you said University?
University, San Antonio. And if you could find out what frequency their helipad uses.
A DPS helicopter transferred the wounded officer to the hospital, and fortunately, he survived the incident. Manuel was also taken to the hospital but died on the very next day due to the shootout. This whole situation could have been easily avoided if the suspect had been cooperative, but this isn't the same case as Aaron Shelton, who had already made up his mind to take on a whole army of officers with an AK-47. On April 12, 2021, Georgia State Patrol officers initiated a traffic stop on a Nissan Sentra that was traveling at over 100 miles per hour. The driver, later identified as Aaron Shelton, had his cousin Pierre Shelton in the passenger seat, who was carrying an AK-47 in the car. The traffic stop suddenly turned into a massive shootout at the end when the car fled from the officers. Initially, the car didn't stop for the officers, but after multiple attempts, they finally pulled over on the side of the road. However, that was just the beginning of the story. As soon as the officer got out of the car to conduct a search, the car instantly took off, sparking a high-speed pursuit.
Shelton's vehicle. As dash camera video continues, the initial trooper zeroes in on the suspect's car and taps it.
The officer even attempted to go bumper to bumper to stop the vehicle, but the suspects continued to evade capture. Later in the footage, Pierce Shelton can also be seen brandishing the AK-47 to the officer, implying that any further attempts to stop them might escalate the situation.
Straightening out once again. Next, Pierce Shelton can be seen from the passenger side.
As the officer following the car responded over the radio that shots had been fired at him, multiple other units were gathered to the scene to help de-escalate the situation.
You got Granby Connor, you ain't got to worry about spikes. I know, but I don't want to get up here while they're moving around. I'd rather go ahead and disable them.
Sergeant Holloway was shot in the head and crashed his squad car as a result. As the vehicle finally came to a stop, officers could be seen ducking and taking cover to avoid getting shot.
Distance.
At that moment, the officer had no choice but to take cover, as later, gunshots were fired directly at him.
For only 2 seconds, a suspect is seen in front of the squad car, gun in hand.
The officer was later seen backing off as the suspect with an AK-47 in his hand was coming right at him.
He's on my car! He's on my car! He's behind my car!
Following the incident, 3 officers were badly injured by gunshots, and the cousin, Pierce Shelton, died in the shootout. Aaron Shelton, the driver, was arrested and charged with 22 counts, including felony murder, felony fleeing, and aggravated assault of law enforcement. He was later convicted and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. It was satisfying to see a culprit like him finally behind bars. But what about the suspect who actually shot at an officer, leaving him in a pool of blood? And will he get justice too? Watch it yourself.
Get off it! Get off it! Get off it! Get off that! I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker!
On June 7th, 2023, officers responded to a 911 call and were instantly dispatched upon learning about a shootout incident in Denver, Colorado. As they arrived at the scene, bystanders provided officers with a description of the suspect. A few minutes later, a suspect matching the description was spotted running with a handgun in his hand. As officers attempted to approach him, things got heated up.
Get off it! Get off it!
had this guy illegal on the scooter. He's now going northbound.
You're gonna get fucked up, man. You better stop. You're gonna get fucked up. Where'd you go?
Back down, back down. We are. He's not going this time.
Both officers were in their patrol car, attempting to apprehend the suspect who was fleeing on foot. The chase lasted a few minutes until the suspect was finally within sight of the officers. But that wasn't the end of it.
The 2 Zebras for chase eastbound Ammo case and Cherry Carson 2.
The fuck out of the way!
Yeah, now he's going northbound.
You go that way. Drop it, motherfucker! I'm gonna shoot you! Drop it! Drop it! Drop!
The officer quickly drew his handgun and returned fire after the suspect aimed his handgun at the officer and fired towards him, resulting in the officer sustaining significant bruising and pain from the impact.
Get off it! 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 I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker! I'm shot. I'm shot. I'm shot. I'm shot. 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 I'm gonna shoot you if you don't fucking stop!
Stop fucking moving! Stop fucking moving! I got this arm. I got this arm. You're hitting me, bro!
I'm gonna fucking kill you, I swear to God!
Throw that arm! I'll fucking shoot you! Throw that arm!
The officer can be heard saying that he was shot, and following the incident, it was confirmed that the suspect did indeed shoot the officer, striking him once.
You ready? I think it went through my bed. I'm bleeding all over.
Both the suspect and officer were transported to a hospital, where the suspect was hospitalized in critical condition and the police officer was treated and released. The suspect has since been discharged from the hospital and is now in the custody of the Gilliam Youth Center. It's unfortunate how triggers can be pulled at officers without a second thought, but that wasn't the case with Wolf Scott because he didn't intend to kill an officer, but rather an innocent man. On November 5th, 2023, officers from the California Police Department were dispatched after one of their colleagues reported 36-year-old Zachary Wolfscott fleeing from him after committing minor infractions. During the pursuit, the driver hit an adult male who was riding a motorcycle, causing a crash. However, as the vehicle came to a stop, Wolfscott stepped out of it with a knife in his hand, intending to harm the officers. Let's see if he really succeeds in that. The motorcycle who was hit can be seen laying on the ground, showing signs of being dead.
Hey! Get out! Get out!
The officers could be heard commanding Wolfscott to stay in the car, but he ignored their commands and stepped out with a knife in his hand, resulting in him being shot twice. What's even more astonishing is that he instantly got up once again.
Drop it! Drop the knife! Drop the knife!
10-4, we have a 901 and shots fired. Officers are okay, suspect down.
Multiple shots were fired at Wolfscott to ensure that he didn't get up again and potentially harm the innocent motorcyclist laying on the ground.
The Sacramento Metro Fire Department responded and transported the civilian to a local hospital with serious injuries. He ultimately has survived. The suspect was also transported by ambulance to a local hospital, where he was later pronounced deceased.
You following me
up there, I'll kick the knife out.
The deputy who fired his weapon is a 9-year veteran of the sheriff's office. He has worked a variety.
The motorcyclist and Wolf Scott were immediately taken to a nearby hospital where Wolf Scott was pronounced dead, and fortunately, the innocent motorcyclist survived. While Wolf Scott surely received the justice he deserved, the fate of the suspect in the final case is up for you to decide. On August 1st, 2022, in Oklahoma, the Sand Springs Police Department received a 911 call reporting a theft involving 3 suspects at a tractor supply store. The suspects fled the scene in a car, leading to a collision and a shootout. The chase lasted about 15 minutes until the officers finally managed to capture the suspects after they collided with a police patrol car.
Still westbound 64, speed 90 miles an hour, light rain. TVI.
The officers' patrol car managed to stop the vehicle by ramming into it, but the suspects had already planned their escape, even after officers used their firearms to prevent it.
Stop! 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 He just rammed us. Shots fired! Shots fired!
An officer shot at the suspect's vehicle after the driver allegedly crashed into another officer's vehicle in an attempt to escape. The suspects managed to flee and later hid in the woods after abandoning their vehicle. They were eventually arrested after being identified by local reporters. And if you think these criminals were wild for thinking they were untouchable, just wait until you see our next video.